Humanity. That means all of you. It's February 19th, 2018, and this is Mondays with Bev and Paul, and I'm Paul.
Oh, I'm Bev.
Good morning. You sure are. Are you sure today?
Yeah, sure.
All right, she's sure. Hey, everybody, welcome to another Monday, and we're going to have another good time. We have a great little video to show you by our expert videographer here.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. And we have our question for the day. Here's the question. Why is BioTouch practiced directly on the skin? Always a question. You know, there's a lot of other healing modalities that don't, but we do touch right on the skin with these two fingers. And that's what we're going to talk about. These shows are designed to teach you BioTouch. That's the number one thing. Share with you a part of our manual or our book. Today we're going to do the manual.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. Communication would be lovely, right?
Yes, right.
With our and always sharing with you our web of amazing certified practitioners around the world who are helping us to anchor this for humanity. Yep.
And just to let you know, I didn't tell you yet, Michaela, our German practitioner, just sent an email to, I don't know, I think there's 35 people in her area in Germany to do a web conference with us next month.
What?
Yes.
35.
So we're going to get on there. We're going to dialogue with people, and we have our new program with Zoom, and we're going to try and do a web conference, and we're going to present in Germany.
I'm so excited. Yeah. Well, we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah. So this is a big step.
It's big.
So we encourage all of you to start a little group in your area. It doesn't matter if you're in Germany or Timbuktu or Tubuk-Tim or anywhere in between. You know, learn BioTouch. Get a group of people, even if it's just 2 of you or 3. We'll come meet you. You know, we can do that now.
We can.
Right here from our little home here in Tucson.
So easy, isn't it? I love this.
So it's reaching out and touching using the World Wide Web.
Ooh.
And that's what we're going to talk about, touching. So our question for today again, why is BioTouch practiced on the skin? And we're going to start the dialogue with a little part from our manual.
Yes, it's from the preface in our manual. And just a very wonderful sentence here. BioTouch is performed by person-to-person contact, and both the associate and the recipient may be surprised and pleased as their joint function begins to exhibit vigorous, positive results. And so when we talk about the, this relationship, we have an associate or the person who gives BioTouch, and we have the recipient, the one who receives BioTouch. But here is what the dictionary defines the role.
The role of an associate.
Right. One often in the company with another, implying an intimacy or equality, and 2, one having an interest in common with another. So, if I may, when I was reading in the preface about that, the function, we're always talking about BioTouch brings us into a relationship of healing. But what came to me, why BioTouch is so profound and important when we enter into a relationship, is that, we're always talking about one person gives, one person receives. But with BioTouch, it's both people are giving and both people are receiving. It's not just the associate and the recipient. Those lines are blurred in that healing moment with BioTouch. I cannot, as an associate, I cannot touch another person without that person giving something to me in my self-awareness.
Right. So. And, that's interesting, too, because the intimacy of that relationship is why, to me, touching on the skin has been so important. It's sort of like we talk about when people come into that room and they take off their shirt or their blouse, leaving on whatever they're comfortable with. But we touch right in that greeting point, that right below the breastbone, and it's skin to skin. It's like you're piercing that veil of separation.
Yeah.
You're in each other's space.
Oh,
You know, I remember somebody once talked about healing work, and they had some aura machine, and they were checking auras, and I always felt if there was such a thing, and they could take those pictures, that when you pierce that veil, it's like these two auras, or these two bubbles, or these two colors. If you do Kirlian photography, I have a feeling they would sort of like blend into one.
and merge.
Yeah,
Oh.
that'd be like a wonderful thing to do a little experiment
Wouldn't it,
with and
though?
see. And that's the intimacy of the relationship that really, I think, really happens most powerfully when you touch on the skin of another human being.
Right. And it also reminds me, because, you know, that the greeting itself is, as we always are mentioning, it seems to be a key that opens the magic. When I think about when I first touch a recipient in that greeting point one, I'm actually touching in a very sacred place on their body, in that one little point that just, it's like the whole presence just takes a breath. It's just so sacred, you know?
You know, I'm reminded Gary Schwartz, who did our research and the preface to our book, said, you know, he really thought out of all the healing techniques he was doing a lot of energy modalities, that touch on the skin was the most powerful. Couldn't really say that often, but you know, he also did a research project with his freshman class, psychology class, and what we did is we taught 3 basic sets of points to these freshmen, and they were to go home and they were to do 3 types of way of doing the points. One was to do the BioTouch right on the skin. One was to do the BioTouch points through the clothes. And another was do the BioTouch points but off the body, as a lot of energy modalities do. And then they were supposed to rate with their partners or their friends their stress reduction and pain reduction. Across the board, touch on the skin was the most effective. And that sort of blew Gary away. He didn't really think it would be that way, even with these neophytes who'd never really done BioTouch before.
Right.
So we always used to say, skin to skin wins.
Skin to skin. Skin wins.
Skin wins, right.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that was
impressive.
Yeah, that was a nice little... and I think that's what we're, you know, I mean, what's the first thing you do when the baby is born? You just want to hold it.
Yeah.
You know, and in fact, they say if you don't hold the baby, its immune system can't get respond and moving. So
we know things. We've been told things, right? And so BioTouch is, for me, something here when we say it's a remembering, a reminder that all of this is true. We need to touch each other. We need to be connected. And so we meet each other at the body.
At the body. That's what we all agree to. We say that all the time. There's only one thing that we all agree to, and that's that when I'm looking at another body, I perceive another body that's just the same as this body.
Right.
And that's a oneness that you can't deny.
You can't deny it.
You know, and the magic of how these bodies got here and how they function is just magical.
It's amazing.
And we're all in this body, whatever is in here, you know, thinking and emoting and feeling, but the thing that's equal is this body, we touch it directly.
Yep.
So we're going to show you proof of why touching on the skin is most effective. This is just a cute little thing.
It is.
So here we go.
We have to video this. This is the reason that we touch on the skin. This is our scientific proof of why BioTouch is most effective to touch on the skin. Okay? And this is a little ping pong ball that has a circuit board inside, 2 little batteries, and then these 2 metal clips come out. Okay? Now if I just touch the 2 ends of the clips, the ball lights up. Okay? Now, not a big deal. Okay, if you touch one of the clips, and I touch the other clip, and I touch on the skin, and we hold hands, the ball lights up. Oh, you said, you ain't seen nothing yet. Touch that again. Now, interestingly enough, if I try to do energy work, right, and I do it off the body, we can't get the ball to light. If I touch through the clothes, I can't get the ball to light. But the minute we touch skin to skin, the ball lights. That's just the beginning. If everybody would hold hands all the way around the circle. No, you do not do that. We're going to hold hands. All hold hands there. Sam's going to hold one of the tips. And then the minute I touch the other tip, the ball lights up. Now you break over there, Rick, and touch again.
It's so immediate.
Immediate. Immediate. You can put 100 people in a circle, and the minute we all touch skin to skin, the ball will light up. That is our scientific proof of why we do BioTouch on the skin. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was good.
That was good, and good job by our new videographer.
Uh-oh. Don't get too good at anything, right?
You notice how she panned out and showed everybody holding hands together.
It just came to me.
That's good.
That was good.
All right. So, yeah, the power of touch, incredible. And that ball always blows people away.
I know.
We actually have them available if you want to get them. They're only $5 right here through the website. And they're just fun. And really, I've done it with, 50 people before.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you could do them with hundreds. And so
I know.
long as everybody's touching, the ball lights up.
It's just, it's incredible. So there we go. We have our proof.
And,
We're
tell us
connected.
that story. You shared a story about touching in the body and about when somebody had you walk barefoot on the grass. Or
Yeah,
something.
this was years ago. Just an experience. And the purpose of the whole kind of lesson was to see if I could connect, being in this body with other expressions of bodies. And so I went out and I stood barefoot in the grass, which of course is very
just feels good
grounding. I
thinking
know.
about it.
Can you just imagine it? Oh, it was wonderful. And stood in front of the most beautiful pine tree. And it was a gorgeous day. And the purpose was to see if I could be present in my body and connected to other forms of bodies. In a tree, grass, there was a butterfly. When I opened my eyes, maybe that was a premonition.
Right.
I was going to be involved with the butterfly eventually. But the whole lesson for me was it just broke down all the barriers. It was just like I was so connected to life. And now I realize something, that's what BioTouch does. It allows us, when we touch another body, to connect us to lives, our life, our one life that we call humanity. And this is why it's so profound, that it begins there. Oh my gosh, we see somebody else, we can touch them, instantly connect and say, this is my brother. This is my sister. Yeah.
And, that's, people always say, well, you need to charge, people need to give you, money to show that it's worthwhile to them. And, how can you do that when the giving, as you said earlier, the giving and the receiving is the minute you touch another human being and they've allowed you into their space, they've allowed you to let themselves be loved by you, it reciprocates. It becomes them loving you too, and that's the real giving. No money, no anything material could, pay for that kind of acknowledgement of one human being to another.
And, this is part of what we're all beginning to, perceive on maybe other levels. We're all being asked to recreate our priorities. What is giving and what is receiving? What is our sense of wealth?
Right.
Well, health is wealth. That's what BioTouch, it's that gift that if we start on that journey with BioTouch, meeting at the body, all the possibilities begin to happen. That's amazing.
When you talked about the tree and BioTouch and the equality, I was reminded, just read this thing from Ram Dass this morning. He was talking about how to stop judging people. He said, so when you look at a forest and you go out into the forest and you see all these trees, they're all different. They're shaped different. They're crooked. They're taller. They're shorter. So his suggestion to all of us is, just start seeing people as trees.
Mm.
And then you won't judge. We don't have to judge. That's what I like about BioTouch. The equality of touching that first point of the greeting. It just, the judgments at that moment are dissipated. I can go into a session with all my judgments, preconceptions and all that, but the greeting sort of evaporates those, at least for that moment. And that's an awesome moment.
That's an awesome moment. And what it does when the one thing, you could look at 6 different species of trees in a forest, but you know what? You always come back. They're beautiful.
Yes.
When we touch another human being, that BioTouch breaks down. We are able to be in the presence of the beauty of another human being. Our own beauty comes to, expression.
So we're getting very excited here, as you can tell.
Yeah.
We're asking you to reach out and touch someone. You know something? If nothing else, if you don't want to do BioTouch, just take the 2 fingers and take a moment and just reach over and touch them on the cheek.
Yeah.
Just try that. See what happens.
It's so peaceful. It's so non-invasive. It's love.
It's love.
It really is. I care about you. That's what BioTouch says all the time. I really care about you. Yeah.
And we care so much about you. We always want to teach a set of points. Today we're going to teach you the upper abdomen, and we'll just go right to the points.
The upper abdomen set may be used to address conditions related to the organs that are located between the bottom of the breastbone and the navel. These organs may include the stomach, liver, spleen, kidneys, intestines, or gallbladder. Generally, the procedure is performed while the recipient is lying on their back. The upper abdomen has 4 steps. Step 1. With one hand, hold at X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. This is the same as greeting point 1. With the other hand, touch points 1 through 5. Point 1 is in the soft tissue just inside the ribs, where the ribs begin to curve outward. Point 2 is the same point on the opposite side of the body. Point 3 is in the soft tissue just inside the ribs, where the ribs begin to curve to the side. Point 4 is the same point on the opposite side. Point 5 is just above the navel. Step 2. With the palm open and flat, slide the entire hand under the recipient's body and place the first 2 fingers of this hand on the spine in contact with the breakover point. Remember, the breakover point is directly through the body from greeting point 1. Then, with the hand underneath the recipient and the fingers in contact with the spine, touch points 1 through 5 and X with the other hand. Point 1 is in the soft tissue just inside the ribs, where the ribs begin to curve outward. Point 2 is the same point on the opposite side of the body. Point 3 is in the soft tissue just inside the ribs, where the ribs begin to curve to the side. Point 4 is the same on the opposite side. Point 5 is just above the navel. And X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. After completing this step, enhancements in local work may be performed as needed. For example, an associate could sweep across or around any scars. Step 3. In through fire, touch points 6 and 6, which are on each side of the body, even with a line running slightly above the navel. Then touch points 7 and 7, which are on each side of the body, on a line running slightly below hold point X. And finally, in step 4, perform a matching fire and touch points 1 and 2, points 3 and 4, and points X and 5.
There you go. Works with any digestive issues, any spleen, pancreas, liver. That woman there that had the scar there, she had liver cancer, and they had to take out a third of her liver and the gallbladder, and BioTouch just, there it was, that invasive technique. She was in the hospital. She was supposed to be there for 6 weeks. I went and worked on her right after she got out of anesthesia. She was out within 6 days.
Wow.
And it just, if nothing else to use BioTouch for, it's a great pre-post-op technique. Sometimes we need those operations, and it helps our body with the stresses of that invasiveness.
Oh my goodness. And then post-op, we've found the healing is
half the time.
Half the time. Yep.
So we're going to teach you how to work with joint replacements.
That's going to be a great workshop on this Thursday,
this
the
Thursday,
22nd.
At 6 p.m. Tucson time.
Yep.
We're also going to live stream it. We have Sally, who's an RN, one of our practitioners, and she's doing lots of research. She has some great information about inflammation, joint replacement, joint arthritis, and we're really looking forward to her information. So if you can join us here at the center, otherwise we'll live stream it, and then we'll post it on our YouTube site and our website.
Yep. It's going to be a great workshop this week.
So that's another 20 minutes.
A wrap.
A wrap up.
They say. Let's wrap it up.
So we appreciate all of you. Here's BioTouch around the world, and we have fun doing these shows. So thank you all for joining us. And my name's Paul.
And my name's Bev.
And
just have a great week, everyone.
Have a blessed week.
Yes.